All right, all you beautiful people out there, happy Wednesday. We got such a special one today. We have an incredible guest on the show. We have Ian Erwood from Canada, who is literally mind, body, healthcare, total inspiration. Just wait until you hear. He's actually probably been winging longer than anybody on this planet within reason, and winging's only been around a little bit. But technically, just wait until we get into this story. He's done everything. He's a total waterman. The joke is just add water, and that's Ian. He's done everything. Great family man, humble, incredible human. We're excited to have him on the show today. And of course, we have my amazing human over here, Gwen, who is just a total rock star to guide this thing. And so, Ian, we just want to say thank you so much for being on the show, and thank you for your time. This is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it's great. It's a pleasure to be here with you and Gwen today. Look forward to it. Let's start off.
First, we could even basically touch on how did we all meet. Basically, Ian, you reached out to us with the idea of talking about physical training, because it's spring, summer is coming, people are getting back into winging, and you were like, hey, not everybody is ready at all time. We need to get people ready for the winging season. And you reached out to us, and we were excited. That was kind of a perfect opportunity to learn from you. So
exactly, I've been following you and Damo right from your beginnings, and so I watch every show pretty well. And you're right. There's seasonal changes. Up here, I'm in Keswick, Lake Simcoe, which is about an hour north of Toronto, and we have 4 full seasons. We have the winter where it ices right over, and we actually wing ski from about December until we just finished 2 weeks ago was my last wing ski out on the ice here, and the ice just left a couple days ago. And now we're looking forward to getting into the water soon. It's still a little bit cold for me to get in, but some of my friends are keen, and they've already been in wing foiling.
Let me get this right. You have 4 seasons, right? It's like winter, 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 and winter.
Yeah, pretty close compared to sunny Florida, for sure. I envy you guys. I watch your videos, and you're in your t-shirts on the beach, and it's snowing and freezing up here when I'm watching them.
Well, we got to get
the summer, which is a great season to be wing foiling or wing supping. And then in the fall, the water's still warm, the air gets a bit cold, and we're still able to wing foil. And then we wait a few weeks, and then things freeze over, and we cycle back into wing skiing. But there's definitely some different muscles, and I try and prepare for each season. And that's what I was thinking. There's got to be a lot of people who may not be wing skiing, and especially in the Northern Hemisphere right now, where they've laid off for this, the winter season, and now they're itching to get back out on the water, and you got to get those muscles in shape. And so we've got some great exercises and some tips for you today on how to get ready for that first session of the season.
This is it. So first, we're going to give a shout out to Bruce and his family, Simon, the whole gang there at Silent Sports. We love you guys there in Canada. Ian knows you guys well. We love you guys. And as we go into this, we have videos to show you guys so you can work on some of these tips that Ian has shared with us, which is just awesome because technically, the whole, nobody's talking about this right now, wing foiling and preventative maintenance and mind and health. And these are those things that Ian has done an incredible job in his, past and present. And I think it's really cool to share with you guys because you never talk about this stuff. It's always about, well, technically for Gwen and I, it's always about the backflip, but really, the most important thing is staying healthy to be able to do this year round in Ian seasons, winter, 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 winter. And
so I'm curious, Ian, how did you get into water sports? Is water sport a big part of the culture? I mean, it seems like you guys don't, quite have the ocean. You are in a lake, so
right, exactly.
So how is the water sports culture and how did you get into it?
Right. So my background, started off swimming and swimming lessons at an early age. we had a cottage here on Lake Simcoe, and Lake Simcoe is a fairly large lake. It's probably about 30 miles by about 20 miles. So when it's windy here on an onshore wind, we get real waves, say a meter high. I mean, it's not like being in the ocean, but I say if you can foil or kite on Lake Simcoe on a windy day, you can be anywhere. You can be on the gorge, you can be in Maui, and you can handle it. So the conditions are good here. So I've grown up around the water, so I've always loved it. I got into I was a competitive water skier when I was younger, and that was a lot of fun. I got started in windsurfing back when it first started, back in the day, you know, when Robbie and Pete and Brian Talma and those guys were just getting started. That's where I started. And I remember looking at the original Windsurfer and thinking, oh, should I get that? And I remember it had a teak boom and a teak universal joint. And there was actually a Canadian sailing company, yacht company, that was making a Windsurfer, and it had an aluminum boom. But it was really jiggly, and there was just like a rubber gooseneck that you stuck into the board, and that was your universal. And there was no deck padding. I bought some skateboard decking, put that on the board. I wore volleyball shoes to try and get a grip. But every time I hit a wave to jump or go zooming over it, the whole thing, the gooseneck would just release, and it'd be like the wind weapon back in the gorge back in the 80s. I'd just be hanging on, flying in the air, just hanging on to my windsurfing sail. So I started off windsurfing and loving that, and I lived for windsurfing. And we did that for a number of years, and then eventually I got into kiting, and it was actually my optometrist that got me into kiting. He started the year before me, and I didn't like the idea of like people were having trouble water launching. This is in the back of the day of the sea kites.
Yeah.
And I didn't like to go, you know, seeing people go for long swims. And I'm thinking, do I really want to do this? And my optometrist took me out for a kite ski, and we did it snow skiing on the ice, just with a trainer kite. And I was able to do it within an hour. So I said, okay, I'm buying all the gear. And but at that time there was no lessons. There was maybe one or two like VHS videos. The internet wasn't around at that time. and I remember I actually bought a Cabrina black tip.
Oh yeah.
That was one of their first kites, total full-on sea kite.
Yep. And
I had seen someone kiting. It was probably like a 20-knot direct onshore day. The beach we have close by is terrible spot for a beginner. And I marched my kids, my two of my kids, my 10-year-old son at the time and 8-year-old son. We walked like half a mile down to the beach with my gear. I knew that, and I had my kiteboard looked like a surfboard.
Yeah.
It had two surfboard straps on it, like an 8-foot long leash on it, surf leash strapped to my ankle. And I got my son to launch me directly onshore. Oof. And I knew I had to, and the beach is only like 4 feet. I have 4 feet of beach, then rocks, then a road, then a park on the other side with hydro lines on the other side and trees. And there were trees along the beach. So I tell him, 15, 20 knots probably, tell my son, okay, let go of the kite. The kite, I knew I had to get it out towards the lake, but it went straight up and then straight out and then back towards the road. And it Supermaned me up in the air. And all I knew is I had to fly the kite. So I just thinking, fly the kite. So I flew the kite over the road, over the hydro lines, over the trees, and it dropped into the park. And I was about 15 feet up a tree on the beach side. and my kiteboard was on like an 8-foot leash, just banging around in the wind, flying around. I unhooked myself. I climbed down the tree. I was able to
and that's when you started wing foiling.
Yeah. I was able to wind up the lines, and I wasn't hurt. None of my gear was hurt, and I just packed it all up. I said, "Kids, it's time to go home. Don't say a word to your mother." And so that was my first experiencing like kiteboarding. It was like a nightmare. And then the following year, that was it for the season. That was my one shot. I'm not doing this again. It was near the end of the summer.
Wow.
The following year, I ended up getting lessons down in South Padre Island.
Yeah.
Great spot to learn. Side offshore, calm water, shallow out for a mile.
Did you take it with Philip Money over there?
No, I didn't. There was it's too long of a story, but there was a guy named Cliff who was the local pro there.
I know Cliff.
Yeah, so Cliff was one of the local pros, and
very cool.
It was an interesting story. But I ended up going. Give you the Reader's Digest version, but I had a friend come down with me who had almost no kiting experience, but he was really keen to learn. The two of us went down. We had already online. We had hooked up with some lessons down there, and our lesson group, we were split into 3 different groups. I got put in the advanced because I knew how to fly a kite, but it was again side off. They had a wave runner in the water. I think I had a group of 4 or 5 people in my group, but I was able to I couldn't water start. I couldn't do anything, but I could fly the kite and sort of get dragged a bit with the board on. But being side off, it kept pulling me further and further out. Yeah. And then I couldn't. I waited for it seemed like about 2 hours before the instructor came out, and he said, "Okay, time's up. The lesson's over." And I was going, "I haven't done it. I haven't had a lesson." Anyways, so I got back to shore. I was a little miffed about the whole situation. My friend, who's a complete beginner, I asked him how his lesson went. He said, "Oh, not good." And I went, "What? Why? What happened?" He goes, "Oh, there were 2 girls with me, and the instructor spent the whole time with the 2 girls and not me." So we actually talked to the manager, and he said, "No problem. We're refunding your money." And so then I had to find another place. I phoned up another shop, Air Padre. Just put a shout out for Air Padre.
Yeah.
And it was Jeff's, first month, I think, that he opened the shop. My friend and I had private lessons with him for a week. We'd go for a drink after our lessons. Phenomenal, got me started. So it was an awesome experience. It turned out a bit sketchy at the beginning, and then we went back numerous years afterwards. And great thing about Air Padre, they were really safety conscious. Everything was safety. And I still carry that with me every time I go to the water.
Yeah, amen. I would say you're spot on. And for everybody listening here, look, Ian's story about kite surfing, when kite surfing started, I just want to say this to everybody, because there's a lot of these stories, because it was so new, so unknown. It was a lot of these stories. And I know hundreds of people that had these stories. The best thing I can say for anybody that's interested in kite surfing right now, it is the safest, most incredible, most easy thing now that you can achieve, versus back when you did it. It was a totally different story. And I think the cool part about wing foiling is it's open to the world right now in a pretty user-friendly way, in a very safe way, within reason. And I just wanted to tap on that, because Ian, totally understand 100% that situation, your learning direction there. But well, what I would say is, let's get into what you can help all these viewers and amazing humans out here on best practices. You're 62, you're incredibly fit, you're living the life of what you want to do, and you're enjoying these sports, and you're feeling good about it, and you have the energy and you have the motivation. So we're going to share a little video right here. And this is actually just to share with everybody. These are those things that, you know, happen.
Gosh, there it is.
Oh! Oh! So I wanted to share that because those lead to these injuries, we'll call it. That was Gwen landing his first backflip. Did you notice how perfect he landed that? No, I mean, technically we just wanted to share this because look, in any sport you have weird twists, weird falls, whatever it may be. And so we're going to go into one here that every wing foiler goes through. And this is a process we're just going to watch. And feel free, Ian, you can chime in if you want to say anything. And we'll just kind of start with this.
Yeah, which is kind of like the first like challenge like that everybody is facing is like, you know, how to balance on your knees and then how to get up. Actually, in this one, I do a weird thing for me. Like I don't put my front leg up first on this tack. Just because
back leg, yeah.
I have a stronger like leg to get up, and Damien does it differently. So that's why it's like a good video to show where Damien goes with, you know, his front leg up first, and I did the other way around. But yeah,
you know, we're covering this little moment here because you're going from knees to standing, you know, hamstrings and feet and balance and core. We can watch it one more time. Feel free to Ian chime in on what muscles are moving here. What do you kind of break down here?
And I can relate to this because the first time I tried winging on the water, I had already been kite winging for at least 8 years on the snow. And so I know how to wing, I know how to windsurf, I knew how to foil. I was just on an inflatable sup with just fins on it. And it was a windy, choppy day. And my friend loaned it to me. He had a wing. I didn't even have an inflatable wing yet. And he loaned me the sup. And I thought, how hard can this be? and I just trying to get up, going from that, you know, kneeling and just being stable enough in the waves, and then going to one knee and then standing up. It was hard. I was shocked at how hard it was. And still to this day, for me, this is the hardest part for me. When I'm up winging, I'm on the foil, I can go all day, you know, but when I fall, I got to get back to the board, got to swim over, get set up. I'm usually in choppy water, you know, get stable and have the strength and power to get up. And that's where you need all the energy. Yeah. And so some of the exercises we're going to show you today concentrate on those specific muscles that are going to help you do this, you know, and make it a lot easier for you.
Do you want to go into it? Can we do it?
It's not an exercise you do every day. You know, how many people, you know, are down and stand up every day? It's just not something you do naturally.
It's true.
Yeah.
We can go into.
Sure. So here's one great exercise. I call it a lunge and twist. And so you want to practice on both sides. You can use a medicine ball and gradually increase the weight of it, or start off with no weight.
Yeah.
But you want to have good technique. And by good technique, I mean having your back straight when you're doing it. Don't hunch over. When I look at foilers or surfers or any athletes in the water, I can tell how good they are by their body position. If they're unstable, they're hunching over trying to compensate things because they haven't developed the skills and the muscles to support themselves. So you want to do all these exercises easily. Start off with no weight if you need to, and then but have your back straight, kneel down, come up, and then and what I think about when I'm doing these exercises, I'm on a puppet with strings on me. And I'll pretend my back's straight and I have strings pulling up on my shoulders. And so those shoulders are kept straight and my back straight as I'm doing it. And it'll be harder at first to do it that way because your body will want to hunch over, but start slow and you'll get used to it. So good technique is so important. And then you can gradually increase the weight as you go along. And you might say, "Oh, I don't have a little medicine ball to start off with." Well, you don't need one. You can just use like a can, and start off with a can to do it.
And is this Ian? Sorry to interrupt. Is this your summer day?
That's right. This is a warm summer day for us with the icebergs in the back. This was just a week ago at one of our local spots.
I love it. At least you're rocking the shorts. I mean,
yeah, pops. I didn't stay out too long, I can tell you.
No, I honestly, to everybody that's listening, look, these are preventative ways to strengthen your core, strengthen your balance. I love this. It's great mobility. These are all things that, to prolong your career in wing foiling. All these things is just going to benefit you as a human, make you more nimble. If you do have a situation where you may fall, these are all preventative, so you don't stretch something or tear something or have an issue. And I think Ian just nailed that out of the park. Do you want me to go into the next one, Ian?
Or just wait for a second. And sure. Also there's two types of arms I have. With a really lightweight, I can hold my arm just out straight and swing across. And then if you have a little bit heavier weight, you can have your arms bent and just swing it side to side, as I do near the end right here.
Yep.
With a little bit heavier weight. And this will get your quads going. It'll engage your core, and it'll make a difference for you. And you'll find you work on this. I do this 3 times a week. Basically all year round, because it's such a good exercise.
I love it. I think it's awesome.
So that's a lunge with a twist.
Yeah, I mean, it would even be good to do like right before a session, get warmed up.
Get warmed up, yeah. Exactly. You see a lot of surfers do this, professional surfers. They go out there and they work on their mobility right before they go out.
Yes.
A lot of people are just trying to live their best life. So obviously you're not going for a competition or something, but Gwen and I wanted to bring this up as something for everybody to think about, because technically the whole goal is for everybody to stay healthy and be able to wing without any issues, right? Because when you're injured, everybody hates being injured, and you want to be, operating at your best. So all these are hopefully going to help you guys, feel healthier over the summer and enjoy these times, and maybe, change your life. So, and then we're going to go into the next one.
And actually, I don't know if you have control over the sound, Damien, but if you can mute the video, that way we don't have like any wind noise. I don't know if that's, but if not,
I can. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you, Gwen. This is my first time playing with the videos, everybody. I apologize, everybody that's watching. This is my first time, so we're probably the reason why the background's black and we just have some videos. Probably. All right, so we got another one here, and we'll roll through it. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Hold on a second. We just did that one. Let's go to this one. And well, that one's not playing. Let's go to this one.
Go.
Let's see if this one's working.
So go to the bike, and then maybe Gwen and I will go through this, Damien, and maybe you can find the other one.
Yep. I got you. I'll work on it. Yep.
So this is also an excellent exercise for your balance and your core, being either on a stationary bike, or you could even have a bike with a trainer, indoor trainer, something that could stabilize the bike for you. And one thing I've noted, in the last 10 years, I find that unicyclists are phenomenal foilers. Anybody I know that's a unicyclist and foils, they're outstanding, and they've got that balance dial.
Well, actually, even yesterday, I met a guy at the beach. It was his, second time going winging, and he was already up on foil. And I was like, he seemed to have like pretty good skills on the foil. And he said he had never foiled before, but he does a lot of one wheel.
Yes, exactly.
And so there is that same like kind of
Transfer.
balance where you understand that like a tiny movement is having a huge effect, basically.
Exactly. So here we are. This is my all-time favorite exercise. This one's for Harry. Harry's gonna love this one.
I love it.
Harry rocking with this one.
Good.
And this is a modified Turkish get-up.
Okay.
And so again, you can start this one with no weight at all, just to be able to do the motion properly. And so I start in a standing position, and we'll just get up there as it cycles through. And here I just have a 5-pound kettlebell. And I hold it for 5 seconds. I bring it down, keep it up, arm straight, one knee bent, kick the bent knee leg out, hold it again here for 5 seconds.
Yep.
And then now the leg will get kicked out. Now you want to hold it for again 5 seconds. And then I'm going to lie back, or I'm going to hold it at a 45 degree now. And then all the way back. And then when I hold it all the way back here, I'm going to lift my opposite leg, point your toe, stretch your arm out, that's out. And then I go reverse, 45 degrees straight up, swing the kettlebell up, and then get up, but keep that arm straight and your shoulders straight. And try and keep it up, arm straight, shoulder straight, and then stand up. And then we finish with a squat down and up over your head.
I love it.
This is going to be dynamite. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then you do that same sequence
with the opposite arm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is awesome. This is incredible shoulder. This is incredible mobility, balance. It looks like your whole body, every muscle is, firing, at certain times for sure. And you're working on, I mean, all this is incredible muscles for wing foiling for sure.
It is. It covers like head to toe, literally. And you're going to feel it the first few times you do it. And as I said, start with no weights at first.
Yep.
And just be able to do that motion, keep your back straight. Again, I pretend on that kettlebell, there's a string on top of it, and it's like holding it up. And I've got to hold it just straight up over my head while I'm doing the motions. Again, you don't want your back to be bent over. Your core is going to be firing. Keep your arms straight. Let your shoulders pivot underneath. Arm up straight for that whole motion.
Yeah. How many times you do reps of 10 or 15? And
actually,
then
I just do when I'm doing my normal cycle, right now I'm up to a 10-pound weight, and I just do 3 full reps on each side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I need.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm doing other stuff as well, but just for this set, 3 full reps, and I'm up to a 10-pound. And you don't need to be super heavy. I'm not out to be like Mr. Muscle Man. I just want to be fit and healthy to enjoy the sports I do. Weight is a penalty.
Yeah.
For us, we want to be as light, and as strong as we can.
Weight's a penalty. I love it. For when the wind comes down and you can't get up on foil.
Right, exactly. Shouldn't have had that extra burger.
I love it. I love it. And then, we had this in the stream here. I'm just going to show it again. I think.
Yeah. Look, so we can go through this.
Yeah.
So exactly. So, just again, in the winter here, I don't get to outdoor cycle, but I can be on my stationary bike, and I can get a bit of a cardio workout. And then you want to be able to ride with your hands up, back straight, and start off with maybe just medium tension. So you have a little bit of tension in the pedals, so it helps to support you a little bit, and get used to riding. Pretend you're on a unicycle, but again, you're going to have the sensation that you want to lean forward to balance yourself, but try to resist that. Try and keep your back straight and your arms up at your side, and your core is just going to be firing like crazy. And then when you hold the pedals horizontal in a stationary position, again, you can increase the tension to full tension if you want, so it's quite stable, and learn to balance there, and then start doing deep knee bends and be stationary and do both legs, one leg forward one time, one leg forward the other time. And I tend to practice more with my weak leg forward, just so I, because your dominant leg, we've all got a dominant arm and a dominant leg, it'll pick it up pretty quickly. But that weaker leg or weaker arm is the one you need more practice with. So I always do more reps on my weaker side just to improve it. And I've gotten to some things now where my weak side is almost better than my good side now, because I've practiced with it so much.
I love this. I mean, here's what I'd say: the best athletes in the world, in whatever sport it is, you always see them on a bike. You always see them warming up, getting the blood flowing, getting the muscles moving, getting things warmed up. Because back when I was a big ski racer, the biggest thing was, how do you make your first run of the day like it was your last run of the day? Or same thing with wing foiling. When you're done wing foiling, you're so loose because everything's just been worked. You're got all this motion going. And so the goal with a lot of this stuff that Ian's kind enough to share with us is to loosen up and get all these muscles fired. One, to, help you in the future long term, but two, give you this ability to, be loose and healthy and not have any tweaks or, I think cycling is one of those things that anybody can do. And it doesn't matter what sport you're doing. If you want to just be healthy in life, I think cycling is such a good thing. It's low impact. It's cardio. There's a lot good in it. And, I think Ian's just crushing a home run. This is so helpful for everybody.
Yeah. So Ian, tell us, do you have a routine, like a daily routine?
Yes.
That just helps you stay in shape all year round, feeling good all year round?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm about 2 pounds over my varsity water polo weight back when I was 21 years old.
Wow.
And then I was training maybe twice a day. Can't do twice a day all the time now because I'm working as well and family and whatnot. But so it definitely, to stay fit and literally I work out basically 7 days a week. Now I don't go hard every day, and I probably miss 7 days a year, but I try and do a workout every day. And my normal routine, I have my own little home gym. I used to go, pre-COVID. I had a fitness center right across the street from where I work, and I it would open up at 5 a.m. and they wanted to start when they first opened it up. They started at 6, and I said to the manager, "No, we need to open up at 5." I like to get an early workout in. And after a week, there was so much demand, and they had such a long lineup at 6 that they actually, after a week, when they first opened, they changed it to 5. And there's still a lineup at 5, believe it or not. But I like to get my workout done super early in the morning. And then that's under my belt. Then the rest of the day is downhill for me. So I also have my own little home fitness gym center. And what I've done over time is I've either purchased equipment on sale or I've purchased used stuff that's in great condition. People get all excited at Christmas or something, and they bought their spouse some fancy fitness machine. They use it for 2 weeks, and then it's either in the closet or in the garage somewhere. Sure. And then some people are happy enough to say, if you pick it up, you can have it. So I've done that. I've collected stuff over the last 20 years, and my little fitness center in my basement rivals almost any standard gym.
Do you eat anything, or is there what would be your two best recommendations for people with potential just basic eating, or like how do you always stay motivated to, you're young 62, but I would say as you get older it's hard to keep that motivation going. What is what is that you can help people with?
For sure. So the cup's always half full, not half empty to start off with. You got to have a positive mindset, and then just lifestyle in general. Develop good habits and stick to some routines. Eating healthy is one of them, and it's always a constant goal. My diet's not perfect, but it's good, and I'm always trying to improve it a little bit, inch by inch.
Well said.
So, this morning for breakfast, I had 3 eggs, mixed into an omelet with peppers, full mushrooms, spinach, and all kinds of good stuff, just mixed up. So I get a healthy Skittles. Yeah, no Skittles. Yeah. Not good for your teeth. Yeah. So yeah, healthy diet is definitely part of it. And another thing I do to stay motivated, I have a 42-minute trip into the office. And so what I do is I listen to audiobooks. And I can get audiobooks out of the library at no charge. Your tax dollars at work. and so I listen to a lot of healthy, either positive books on, positive mindset, how to be a better person, as you say. And there's all kinds of different skills that you can learn, and how to have a healthy nutrition. And so I listen to those type of books while I'm driving to the office, and there's no downtime.
What would be your favorite book that you would like to recommend to people to listen to?
Well, if we're going to look at diet, I just finished one that's called "How Not to Die."
Oh, from Michael Greger. Michael Greger. I love.
At its current, but it's all about nutrition, and it goes through a number of endemic diseases in our overweight poor diet society, and it's all literature reviewed. So it was quite an interesting book. So it's motivated me to do even more. I can take another step towards being even healthier.
Yeah, I love Michael Greger, and actually, if you don't have time to read the book, you can go on nutritionfacts.org, and there's tons of videos that you can watch, and it's amazing.
Oh, you're up on it.
Yeah.
That's good. and then so my fitness regime, I basically alternate each day, Monday to Saturday, either cardio or strength, and I alternate cardio strength. So and I do something a little bit different every day. Like if it's a Monday, I've got a set Monday. If it's the Tuesday. And I alternate that, and then Sunday's my fun and stretch day. So I just do some yoga, I do some stretching, and just to have like a day off, basically.
Yeah.
So that's my normal routine. If I'm gonna have a big wing foil session, maybe that morning, then I just do a light workout, an easy on the bike, get the muscles warm, do a stretch. So when I get to one of my local sites, I'm ready to go, and I don't do a full hammer down.
Yeah, you did a warm up, get your muscles ready, get them ready for. I think Gwen's routine is cardio, wing foil, and then depression when the wind dies, and then we're back on to.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then just another thing, so I've been practicing for 35 years now. I have missed one day in 35 years for illness. One day. And I thought maybe I'd do my whole career without ever missing a day of work for illness. And the thing that got me, I had a stomach pain that developed really badly overnight one night, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I was just like, this is not normal. And I ended up, my wife took me to the emergency hospital in the middle of the night, she's very like by the rules. She wouldn't speed down the road. She wouldn't, I'm going, please, I'm in agony. She goes, I'm not getting a ticket. Anyways, I get to the emergency check-in, and I literally, like sitting in the emergency, I literally had a wave of pain just rip through me, and I threw up. And then they thought, okay, this is serious. And I thought, I even brought my scrubs with me because I thought, oh, they'll on the way there, they'll just give me a pill and say, you're fine, go to work. But anyways, I spent like 6 or 7 hours in there and did all kinds of tests. Turns out I had a kidney stone.
Yeah.
And and they couldn't figure it out at first. And it was a small one, but it was just mighty pain.
Yeah.
And then finally the doctor, he actually gave me some morphine to take home with me, some pills. And he said, this is going to hurt, and I go, no, when this passes, I can't wait. But it ended up passing a couple of days later, and then I was fine. But that's the only real illness I've had.
Well, it just shows staying healthy, staying active, which is what what you showed in this show, is to just give people that boost and motivation, to say, hey, look, eat as good as you can. What I loved about what you said about eating was, you said it's always an ongoing, strive to be better. And I love that, because everybody has the cravings, right? Like everybody has the things they want, or I want to have this or that, or oh man, now I'm not eating well, or this. And I think that's a great thing that you shared, is like, just do your best at it. Try to always be better every day. Or yes, we take those days and maybe eat something bad, or maybe we don't work out that day or whatever. But in theory, Ian's a perfect living example of 62, doing everything he wants to do, and we say, he started wing foiling, no joke, at 2012, because he was using these flat, rigid wings on ice back in the day. So it's kind of cool that you're on here, because, Gwen's only been doing it a year, and he's a super freak, and he's been doing it with these inflatable wings. But it's pretty cool to see, where it's at right now. And it's really amazing that you are here, and we can't thank you more for sharing, some of these workouts. And anybody listening on, look back in this video. There's some awesome little workouts here shared by Ian that will help you look better life, healthier lifestyle, longer longevity of maybe potential non-injuries. And this was the goal, to just share some information with everybody. And I think Ian nailed it with looking at the glass, instead of half empty, it's half full. And I think that's mentally, Gwen and I talk about it a lot, but I think mental is less talked about in our world today, and it's one of the most important things. And I think that's your number one key to make anything change. You have to believe it, you have to want to do it, you have to visualize it, do it, and that's the first step in even getting on a bike, right? Is to be like, I'm gonna actually get on a bike and work out today.
Yeah, I feel like a good thing to take away is like consistency, is like key. Because often, like whatever, you get motivated into something and you go full into it, and then you stop, and then you do nothing, and then you're gonna get into something else. It's like the same for everything. If you want to be like losing weight and you want to eat healthy, like from one day to the other you're gonna eat like just lettuce, like 100% of your diet is lettuce, and then that's gonna not be sustainable, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna feel bad about yourself. Same with exercising. You want to start exercising, you go exercise like 4 hours a day, then you can't sustain it, you fail, you feel bad about yourself because you failed. So it's a lot of like what you talked about is, you don't have to go like exercise for 5 hours every day. Do it every day, and to a rate that you can sustain. Same with diet. You want to change your diet, don't change everything from one day to the other. Just start improving one tiny bit at a time, but make sure you can sustain it. That way it's gonna be, you're gonna be more successful, and you are not gonna feel bad about yourself when you fail, just because you basically put too much pressure on yourself.
Well said. Absolutely well said. We had a comment come in before. We got to jump over to the patron show, but Rob, elbow tendinitis seems to be common injuries for wingers, kiters, a lot of sports, windsurfers when you're just gripping everything. I'm following recommendations of Dr. Julian Saunders, Australian climber, but would welcome Ian's thoughts on tendinitis. Have you ever struggled with any tendinitis in the past?
I haven't had really bad tendinitis. My brother-in-law is an orthopedic surgeon, so I get comments from him as well. And he's a I'm just getting him into winging right now. He's a big kiter, and I got him into windsurfing when I first met him, and now he's taking the plunge into winging. He bought his first wing, so he's going to get started. One thing that may help as well is near infrared light. And that's been proven to reduce inflammation, and warm heat, and let Mother Nature do her thing. And it does take time. You got to rest it a little bit, but try the near infrared light. I have one, and I use it pretty much on a weekly basis. Or if one of my neighbors has injured themselves, whether it's tendinitis or they've just had a minor surgery or something, I loan them my near infrared light. So that's something to look into, and it has proven to reduce inflammation.
So do you use it as like prevention, or
Yes.
like once it's too late and you have to fix it?
No, I use it for prevention myself. I'll just 20 minutes a week. I'll even do some stretching, and just have the light maybe on my back or something, because it has been proven to be healthy for you.
Well,
I love it.
So, yeah, that's a great point. Is like often we only make a change when it's broken.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's maybe a good tip is like, okay, let's try to, like, prevention is key and for everything. So try to like take care of the problem before it's a problem.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think, everybody gets out of weight or something and they're like, okay, I got to work out now. And it's like, well, like you said, Gwen, you said it, and Ian, you live it. And that is, you set some goals, set some things, get on a routine. It doesn't have to be crazy, but get on something and start chipping at it and start small. I think Gwen said it many times in the past, but man, starting small with, even your wing foiling or kite surfing, whatever it may be, just start with small goals that it's just to not do exactly the point that everybody does. It's like Christmas time, I ate crappy, but on Monday I'm gonna start working out, and they like work out for like 5 hours. They can't even move the next week, right? Yeah. And they're like, it does nothing. You can't. Yeah. They're like, I'm not gonna work out. It's like, start small and build your way and chip away at it. So
definitely.
Ian, I don't know what else to say other than thank you so much. I think you're an inspiration. I love it that you're, shared some of these incredible tips and help. I know I'm going to take some in for sure. I'm excited to try some. I definitely 100% agree with preventative maintenance and your mental outlook on things. I mean, that's why you're 62 doing absolutely everything and sharing it with your family. I'm super glad that you survived in 1990, whatever it was, with 99 or 2001 probably is when it was.
Yeah.
With the black tip. Look, we've been there. I know many people that did, but it sure made it exciting. And the neat part is you get to share that experience with people and help them not be in those situations. So on that note, we're going to jump over to our Patreon show. And for $5 a month, you can support the channel. We go in, we all chat together. And look, we just wanted to say thank you, everybody out there. Look, we do this to help people. Gwen was competing last weekend, crushing it down in Miami. And, we get to interview humans like Ian here who are sharing just awesome information. So please send us your information. Send us anything you want to see. We got some exciting videos coming up that are really awesome that you guys are going to be super amped on. Summer's about here for a lot of you. So we just want to say we love you. We thank you. And we always end on a good note. So Ian, you got anything to say to all these incredible people out there that are inspired by you right now?
Great. Just, live the life, you can make it happen, get into wing foiling if you're not. And then if you are, do the exercises and you're going to enjoy it more and get more people involved. I got all my neighbors wing skiing now in the winter. I've got them wing supping, and some of them are getting into wing foiling now. I tell them, if you can walk and hold your hands over your head, I can teach you to wing.
There it is. That's all it takes, people. That's all it takes. Gwen, you got anything to say?
Well, I mean, I'm very inspired by this conversation. I love it. Again, like, yeah, consistency is key. Go and do a tiny bit every day. Even if you feel like you can do more, just be conservative and make sure you keep some of that fire and just don't like burn it all on the first day. And the hardest step is always the first one. You take the first step, and then you keep going and enjoy the process. Often we get too focused on the end goal. I want to lose 20 pounds, and it seems like it's impossible. But how can I make that process to that end goal enjoyable? If you hate the process, it's going to be hard to sustain it. So find a way to make that process fun, approachable, achievable, and you will get there. And even if you don't get there, you still enjoy the process. So in the end, it's a win.
Great.
Well said. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much. Everybody listening, thank you. On that note, we're going to switch out to the patron, and everybody have a wonderful Wednesday, and thank you all. And Ian, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.